In this video, Tesla taps into a $1 trillion bonanza. They don't need the money, but they'll take it. And just a quick heads up, I posted a Twitter subscriber-only video today. YouTube are officially panicking. In fact, not panicking, they're having conniptions after a very interesting weekend on Twitter. Just wanted to remind everybody, I very much look forward to dancing on YouTube's grave. They did it to themselves. Too little too late now, but it is fun to watch them panic, backtrack, and embarrass themselves. You want to see that video? Head over to Twitter. It's for subscribers only. Let's get into it. Tesla price war padded by $1.8 billion windfall from Biden's Inflation Reduction Act. Tesla, Panasonic benefit early from IRA production tax credits. Law gives hefty incentives for making EV batteries in the United States. And before we jump into this article, in totally unrelated matters, a couple of days ago, Tesla made an update confirming that all of their new Model 3 vehicles in the United States now qualify for the full $7,500 EV tax credit. Previously, they were only receiving half the credit. If free money's on offer, may as well take it. And this makes the Model 3 an absurdly good deal. As Sawyer Mirror points out, in some states, because of state incentives on top of this, you can get a Model 3 now for under $30,000 US, as you can see here. Now, all variations of Tesla's Model 3 and Model Y qualify for the full $7,500 tax credit. Obviously, this depends on your income and how much tax you're paying, a result of the Inflation Reduction Act. Let's read on. Elon Musk is getting more firepower for his electric vehicle price war, thanks to President Joe Biden's signature climate legislation. Tesla and its battery partner are poised to receive about $1.8 billion in production tax credits this year under the Inflation Reduction Act. According to forecasts from researcher Benchmark Mineral Intelligence, a windfall that far exceeds an estimated $480 million haul for Government Motors, an LG Energy solution. Another rival, Ford, won't begin to reap any benefits from the law's battery manufacturing credits until 2025. So think about this for a moment. At this point in time, Tesla, who are making extremely profitable electric vehicles at scale, consumers can't get enough of, selling every vehicle they've made and have done so since they IPO'd and still have industry-leading profit margins. Many consumers in the United States buying one of these vehicles is now getting up to $7,500 off. The disparity reflects the design of the law, which gives hefty incentives to battery suppliers and automakers that produce in the US and, crucially, reward scale. The more batteries and EVs a company makes stateside, as in the United States, the more money it gets via tax credits. And by the way, I do want to be clear. There's two things at play here. There's the consumer side, tax incentives. In addition, there are actual tax credits to the automotive manufacturers for the amount of batteries they're producing. These are actually separate things. This is a double windfall for Tesla. The automaker and its battery partner could receive $41 billion in credits by the end of 2032, far more than key Detroit rivals. We can see here Tesla, these are estimates of course, and they'll probably be on the low end because they're assuming lower than actual production for Tesla. Time will tell, but expect these estimates to actually be low, at least for Tesla. Tesla in black, GM in green, Ford in grey. The estimates here expecting Tesla to receive a windfall of about $1.8 billion in 2023, $2.1 billion in 2024, $2.8 billion in 2025. For context, that's about as much as Tesla's putting in the bank in a single quarter at this point in time. 2026, about $3.7 billion. 2027, $4.8 billion. 2028, $5.8 billion. 2029, $6.8 billion, and then it tapers off. Not bad. And Tesla, which broke ground nearly a decade ago on a Nevada battery plant it operates with Panasonic Holdings, is far ahead of the legacy automakers in churning out products eligible for the large S. Quote, "We're pretty well positioned over the coming years to take advantage of this," Zach Kirkhorn, Tesla's CFO, told investors in January. Tesla has said it expects to use the money from the credit to keep slashing prices for consumers, part of a strategy to sacrifice short-term profit margins to boost sales volumes against a backdrop of inflation and greater competition. Yeah, okay. Musk's pricing crusade creates pressure from incumbent automakers like GM and Ford to follow suit, adding to the extraordinary profitability challenges the old guard already faces in electrifying their lineups. Tesla's average selling price could fall by $125 a unit every quarter for the next 2 years without impacting margins because of the production tax credits, estimates Piper Sandler analyst Alexander Potter. Even Musk has nodded at the law's enormous potential reward. In a recent interview with CNBC, he called the credits, quote, helpful, and said the IRA was a very well-written bill. The outsized benefit Tesla reaps from the law makes for an inconvenient political reality for Musk. His company has gained an advantage from the key policy achievement of a president he has derided as a damp sock puppet. I mean, he ain't wrong. Biden ain't running the show. The guy can't walk from point A to point B without falling. Can't get through a single coherent sentence. He's not running the show. He's also too scared to engage in any debates. So Elon's comment, I mean, it's fair. He's a sock puppet. First mover advantage. In the immediate wake of the IRA's passage, the industry and analysts focused largely on how the law's EV tax credits for consumers might reshape the market. This is what we spoke about earlier. Tesla now eligible for the $7,500 consumer tax credit, as in person buying the vehicle gets up to $7,500 off, in essence, due to a tax refund. This is entirely separate from the battery incentives manufacturers receive for producing batteries in the United States. Like I said, it's a double whammy. Now it's sinking in that the production credits are the real prize, especially for Tesla, given that it already has a commanding share of the market. And by the way, Tesla is being rewarded for doing what made sense years earlier than anyone else, localizing battery production. The incentives, which cover many aspects of the EV supply chain, from mining and processing raw materials like lithium to making batteries in the US, allow Tesla to build on its first mover advantage. In addition to the battery factory near Reno, Nevada, that it jointly operates with Panasonic, Tesla is ramping production of its own battery plant in Austin and broke ground on a lithium refinery in Texas in early May. GM and Ford, meanwhile, are making massive investments to produce batteries in the US, but it will take years for their domestic output to match Tesla's. That's not what Mary B.S. Barra told me. I thought they were going to overtake Tesla yesterday. GM's battery joint venture with LG in Ohio has already started making batteries. And it has two other plants with LG in Tennessee and Michigan that will come online in 2024 and 2025 respectively. It's also planning a new US plant with Samsung. Ford and its battery joint venture partner SK Innovation are setting up 3 battery plants across Tennessee and Kentucky. And the company will own 100% of a Michigan battery plant that licenses technology from China's contemporary Amperex Technology Co. But production will not begin until 2026. Ouch. Tesla will generate more benefit from the IRA than anyone else because they are already making batteries in high volumes. Exactly. They're being rewarded for vision, courage, insight, and leadership. In the time since the bill passed in August, competitors have gotten a clearer sense of what Musk will do with the spoils. In January, Tesla lowered prices across its lineup and has regularly tweaked them since then, based on ordering trends. Zach Kirkhorn told investors earlier this year that executives, quote, want to use these incentives to improve affordability. Again, refer to Tesla's ancient secret master plan from 2006. Make great electric vehicles more affordable over time, therefore we can sell more, winning. The manufacturing tax credit in the IRA, known in policy circles as Section 45X, is part of an effort to decarbonize the economy by drastically reducing the cost of batteries for both EVs and the nation's electric grid, while also building a robust domestic supply chain that doesn't depend on China. And dear nerds, pay attention, maybe whip out a spreadsheet, grab some lube, whatever you're into, because these are important numbers. It's worth spending some time doing some calculations yourself. And I really do mean that. Take the time, figure out the implications, because again, I think the estimates in terms of how much Tesla will benefit from these credits is probably on the low side. That's why it's important to do your own numbers based on your own estimates for production. It provides a $45 per kilowatt hour for battery packs made in the US, $35 per kilowatt hour for battery cells, and $10 per kilowatt hour for the battery modules. Most EVs in the US have 60 kilowatt hour to 100 kilowatt hour batteries. That translates to tax credits of roughly $2,700 to $4,500 per vehicle. It's difficult to estimate exactly how much Tesla or any automaker or battery manufacturer will receive in tax credits for 2023 and beyond, because the figure depends on how many EVs are sold with US made batteries, and also the size of the battery packs in those vehicles. The Treasury Department has yet to release its final rules on 45X, which are expected later this year. The reimbursement also, and this is very important, depends on revenue split arrangements between companies, especially in joint ventures like GM's Altam joint venture with LG or Ford's partnership with SK Innovation. The companies typically don't disclose such terms, and the bonanza of IRA dollars is likely to lead to renegotiations of supply agreements between automakers and battery companies. Very jargony, but the point is 100% of these credits won't be going to the quote automotive manufacturers themselves if they're in partnership with a battery manufacturer, obviously. Wouldn't it be handy if the companies, the automotive manufacturers themselves, were also making their own batteries, in which case 100% of the credits would go to those companies? Unfortunately, no such company exists. Oh wait, hang on, no, one does. Tesla. Shout out to the 4680 cell. These variables may explain why Tesla's own expectation for its haul from the credits is lower than the one by Benchmark Minerals, which includes Panasonic's share of the credits. Production forecasts may also vary. Kirkhorn said in January that Tesla expects the manufacturing tax credit in the IRA could mean $150 million to $250 million per quarter for the company in 2023, or up to $1 billion for the year. GM said it expects to earn $300 million in tax credits this year and aims to build 1 million EVs a year by 2025, which would yield between $3.5 billion and $5.5 billion if all of its production is sold out. Ford declined to provide an estimate for what it will receive in credits, but said in an emailed statement it plans for annual production run rates of 600,000 EVs globally by the end of this year and 2 million by the end of 2026. The production credit begins to phase out in 2030, spoiler alert, or much sooner when the government realises that they've overcommitted here, they haven't done the math, they didn't realise how rapid EV adoption would happen because they're relying upon the moronic expert projections for EV adoption and sales, and therefore they haven't really done the math, they don't realise how much they're going to spend, and they're probably going to have to go, oh shit, we didn't realise we'd be throwing this many billions of dollars away, uh-oh. So keep that in mind. So there's urgency to get battery plants up and running quickly. As more car companies receive the credits in higher volumes, the profusion of new EV models will intensify the price war. Quote, the next 3 to 5 years are going to be tough for everybody in the industry, and it's going to be a dogfight. Automakers will have to figure out how to compete on price without discounting their products so much that it tarnishes their brand. Oh, this is hilarious, bro. That's the least of their worries. Let me rephrase this. Automakers will have to figure out how to compete on price without going bankrupt because Tesla's making vehicles extremely profitably at scale and no one else is even close, and Tesla is dictating pricing terms in the industry. By the way, this is one of the most hilariously idiotic comments I hear from people about tarnishing the brand. Yeah. Oh my God, your products are too cheap. I understand where people are coming from. The idea here is, oh, well, Tesla's supposed to be a luxury car company, but if they're selling a $25,000 vehicle, then people are going to see them as making cheap cars like Toyota, and that's going to damage their brand. It's going to damage their brand all the way to 20 million vehicles sold per year. The IRA could one day come on the political chopping block, particularly if Biden does not win re-election. House Republicans have attacked its price tag, which Goldman Sachs says could reach $1.2 trillion, triple the government's estimate. And by the way, just to be clear, as I said earlier, the government has massively underestimated how much this will cost, and it's also a gigantic fucking waste of money. Now, to be clear, it will achieve its stated goal of localizing battery supply chain, but if this incentive didn't exist, Tesla would still have localized their own battery supply chain. They would still be doing what they are doing. It's just some of the companies wouldn't be getting a disguised bailout before they go bankrupt in the form of these tax credits. Quote, it's a real risk. People are not giving it 100% likelihood to survive, said Mark Wakefield, head of the automotive practice at consultant Alex Partners. For now, though, the credits give Tesla room to try to bolster consumer demand. Potter, the Piper Sandler analyst, wrote in a research note that the automaker sticker prices can, quote, march steadily lower thanks to Uncle Sam. Spot on. So, in short, Tesla will be a huge beneficiary of the Inflation Reduction Act, and they definitely don't need the money, but they'll take it. In the end, this is a massive win for consumers. Not so much of a win for US taxpayers who are funding this thing, the thing that the government hasn't really done the math on and has massively underestimated. But that's no big deal. I'm sure the Fed can just print a few $1 trillion more. Nothing could possibly go wrong and everything's going to be fine. The key takeaway, as Tesla continues to scale up their local production of electric vehicles and more importantly battery cells, including the 4680 cells, they'll be receiving ludicrous amounts of money. Tesla will receive billions upon billions of dollars, which will allow them to drive the cost of their vehicles down even lower. At the same time this happens, Tesla will use these tens upon tens of billions of dollars to make their vehicles even more affordable to consumers, and at the same time that's happening, they're also going to be driving the cost to produce their vehicles down, and consumers on the front end will also be getting big discounts to purchase electric vehicles. This is great for Tesla, not so good for their so-called competition, who already today can't compete on price. I think this only ends one way. Tesla wins, and there's no second place. You did it, Mary. Now don't forget to check out my Twitter subscriber-only video today if you'd like to see the pathetic turds at YouTube panicking after they finally realized that them fucking around with people's ability to freely share their thoughts, opinions, and ideas is a great strategy going out of business. You did it to yourselves, YouTube. Athletic Greens AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. Athletic Greens AG1 is an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to athleticgreens.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. Certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point. It's something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1 is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, snake oil salmon sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, when I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. And remember, there is a 90-day money-back guarantee. There's nothing to lose here. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to athleticgreens.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment. See you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.